On this chapter of my Don't Starve cookbook series, we are going to cover a frozen twist on a summer fruit, Melonsicle. This frozen fruit on a stick provides 3 health, 12.5 hunger, and 20 sanity. It has a fast eating animation, takes 10 seconds to cook in a standard crockpot, has a priority of 10, and when fully fresh will take just 3 days to rot. Melonsicle also will affect the player's temperature, causing it to decrease by 1 degree per second for 10 whole seconds. Melonsicle is strangely considered a veggie food in the game's internal files, despite not even allowing veggies in the recipe, but all this means is that Wigford players will be unable to enjoy it. Melonsicle makes an appearance in both Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together, and made its first debut in the Reign of Giants DLC. So how do we make this triangular frozen spear-shaped object? Well, Melonsicle has a recipe that is easy to remember. You need 1 uncooked melon, 1 ice, and 1 twig. The filler can be anything that's not a meat, fish, veggie, or egg food, and the best filler would be an extra twig. And how exactly do we obtain the ingredients? Well, watermelon will differ between both Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together. If you are playing Don't Starve, then it's basically just planting a seed, waiting a little bit, and hope that it's a watermelon. If it is, then you can either use it to make a Melonsicle or feed it to a caged bird for a chance, yes, a chance to receive 2 seeds back. Don't Starve Together is a little more creative. You see, with the new farming system, watermelons have a chance, depending on what season it is, for it to grow, with their highest chance from a random seed being in summer, where you have a 6.3% chance per random seed for it to be a watermelon, and its lowest chance in autumn with a 2.7% chance. If you manage to keep your watermelon plant happy with water, nutrients, and of course love and affection, then congratulations, you are 1 step closer to a Melonsicle. What about ice? Well, ice is luckily super obtainable in both Don't Starve Reign of Giants and Don't Starve Together during winter. Pengulls will deliver ice straight to your doorstep in both games. And finally, twigs. Twigs are very straightforward. Just go find yourself some saplings or make a twig farm and get to harvesting. What exactly is Melonsicle useful for? Not much. You see, Melonsicle provides the same amount of health and hunger as a standard watermelon, with just 15 more sanity. So you are paying 1 ice and 2 twigs to gain 15 sanity. Not to mention you lose on some food value since ice does provide some hunger. I mean, it's not the worst recipe in the game if you are in dire need of sanity, but with how out of your way you have to go to get a watermelon in both games it's hardly worth it. Plus, melons can be used for another item. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you aren't just learning about Melonsicles in this chapter. You are also learning about the fashion melon. Let's start with what the fashion melon is. The fashion melon is a headwear item that costs 1 whole watermelon and 3 twigs to make. It's already cheaper than its icicle counterpart. The fashion melon takes 3 whole days to rot, provides 20% wetness resistance, which is kind of a meme. If you know, you know, and if you don't, then you will find out soon. And it provides a whopping 120 insulation against overheating during late spring, summer, and early fall. Also during dry season in the Shipwrecked DLC, of course. Fashion melon is, at its core, kind of a meme item, because it also has some pretty serious downside. It has a sanity drain of 2 sanity per minute, and it will increase your wetness to 33 or retain your current wetness. But that doesn't mean it is without its uses. The main use of the fashion melon is its ability to prevent overheating during summer. And to be honest, it does a pretty good job of that. Fashion melon can only raise your wetness to 33, which is below the threshold where you're considered soaked, and your items become wet and drain further sanity. But what if I told you that the fashion melon is one of the most overpowered insulation headpieces in the game over in Don't Starve? Now, I'm sure this was a major coding blunder by Clay, but the fashion melon in Don't Starve doesn't just prevent you from overheating, it prevents you from freezing too. That's right, if you somehow get your hands on a fashion melon and don't mind the sanity drain, you can safely deal with Reign of Giants winters while looking rather fashionable, making the fashion melon quite literally the best winter insulation gear, since it will last around 4 days and prevent freezing while it's alive. Yes, I know what you may be thinking. Does the ice cube do this as well? Yes it does. But the ice cube also slows you down and is overall not as amazing and fashionable as the fashion melon, so yeah. Still, it is funny that wearing a chunk of ice on your head can save you from freezing to death. Remember though, this is exclusive to Don't Starve, not Don't Starve Together, since they, I guess, fixed it in Don't Starve Together, because anti-fun police, I guess. Realism, whatever. Okay, let's talk about the character that makes this hat actually end up being pretty good in Don't Starve Together as well. Wirt. Ever since Wirt's skill tree came out, wetness has become Wirt's bread and butter, acting as a pseudo armor and also restoring sanity and health. It's true, the Fashion Melon won't raise Wirt's wetness past 33, which isn't a lot, but remember when I said that it will also retain your wetness? Well, build yourself a boat and jump off of it while wearing the hat, and boom! You are now permanently wet. Well, at least until the melon spoils, that is. This comes with a myriad of benefits for Wirt, but most importantly, unlike the ice cube, the melon hat won't impede Wirt in any way. It's like this hat was made for this character. Even if it came out many, many years before her, who knows, maybe Clay had plans for Wirt way back when they made the Fashion Melon. It's just a theory, but you know. By the way, before we get into the next segment, it would be absolutely awesome if you could leave a like if you haven't already, and subscribe if you haven't already either. Also, since you made it this far, comment a watermelon emoji down below. Alright, let's get to the fun part. Enough talking about the melon-based creations, now it's time to cook them. And I guess craft them. First, let's start with the fashionable melon hat. We start with a fresh melon and slice it into 2 halves. We take 1 half and use it as the hat and save the other half for our Melonsicle. Next up, using a knife, I carefully create a head-shaped circle in the flesh and then dig it out. We weren't quite done after that though because it still needed some wedges cut out of it before it was accurate to the in-game version. And there we go. Melon hat complete. Now on to the Melonsicle. The recipe we would be using would be the required 1 uncooked melon, 1 ice, and 1 twig. And our filler would be more ice, to represent the freezing process. No, it's not gonna have that gross looking ice block surrounding it. I want to at least enjoy this and not just feel like I am chewing on ice. We basically slice it into a wedge and drive a skewer through it. That's pretty much it. And then it goes into the freezer and I go stream for about 4 hours with a Fashion Melon on my head. And then when I come back, it's time for the taste test. And if you want to watch the Fashion Melon test, stick around until the end because I will be linking the stream where I end up donning this majestic crown. Alright, so here we have the Melonsicle. And you might be wondering why my hair looks like this and why there is a melon right next to me. Well, I just got done streaming the watermelon percent challenge that I had on Don't Starve. So I'm going to put on the watermelon hat for this video as well, because I thought, you know, why not? It's still here. So let's just go ahead and... oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So this is the Melonsicle right here. Let's just go ahead and give it a try. It's basically a frozen watermelon. I know it doesn't have the ice that you would actually see on the Sprite, but I wanted this to be edible, so yeah. So here we go. Let's just bite this off. Much like Banana Pop, it has a frozen sort of like an ice cream kind of texture. You know what I mean? It's got a bit of an ice cream texture. It's not exactly as... I actually prefer the Banana Pop, to be honest. But this is not bad. Like a cold summer day, I could definitely see myself eating this. Oh, dude. This was gross. And there you go. That was me creating and trying out both the Fashion Melon and the Melonsicle. I know we skipped the real-life lore part for this video, but I couldn't find much about frozen watermelon skewers, so that's why. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you aren't already. And of course, if you want to see me wear the Fashion Melon, check out this stream here, or once the edited version of that is out, I will have that be linked instead. This has been Polarlotus, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.